maybe some pieces of some kind. I don't know. Now, oh, goodness me. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I've made it into the wrong area, I think. This is not the area that I am meant to be in. Let's continue. What's going on, everybody? It is another day of antiquing. It's a somewhat hot but rainy day. It's been really wet pretty much the whole day, so it's a perfect day for that. And this is actually the second week in a row when the antiquing is going to be done in one location only. This place is also super huge. Not quite as big as, well, it's not 4 levels big, but it's still pretty big. It's pretty awesome. So this is actually an antique market that I've been going to for years. It's one of my favorites. It's not too far away from where I am. And it just used to be one of my favorite activities on a weekend. And ever since I got into the board gaming world, it's just gone up in value, basically, because now it's a place I want to go all the time because I find things here that are way more vintage and brand new for amazing prices. And I haven't been in probably 4 or 5 months, so I'm super excited to get inside and take a look. All right, so we're inside. This place is massive. It's huge. It's all one level, but there's just rows and rows and rows and rows and rows. I'm familiar with the vendors that usually have the board games, so I'm gonna stick to just traveling there, but I'm still gonna go in between the rows because I might find some components, some pieces, some parts, or, you know, some dice trays, something like that. So I'm not just gonna look for board games. I am gonna take you on a journey a little bit through this awesome antique store and see if we can find anything that is worth coming away with. I'm gonna be honest too, it's not just about the board games for me when I come to a place like this. It's also the fact that there are a lot of vintage pop culture, geek culture stuff. So, you know, things like old card sets, right? Vintage card sets, all kinds of stuff like that, which is always awesome. I love seeing the old Marvel cards. I'm always on the lookout for those. I am a hockey guy. I don't usually look for hockey memorabilia, though. But that's one of the most fun parts, too, the fact that there is so much vintage stuff. Old comics and vinyls are always a big thing in antique shops, which is what I love. See, something like this is really, really cool. This would make a great little dice container. It's kind of nature looking. Like, this is definitely up my alley. Good little size. I am actually looking for something proper to hold my minis in, so that's pretty cool. What are we looking at? $26 for that? Oof. Oh, hey. A little calling card of mine. Oh, even better. I kind of just want the Joker card, I'll be honest. But again, if you are a pop culture fan, which ironically, you know, when you are somebody who's into board games and stuff, usually you're pretty big on pop culture stuff too. Not always, obviously everyone likes what they like, but I know for me that seems to go hand in hand a lot. A little bit more of the fancy stuff, but I know that there is a vendor right up here that always has a lot of cool old retro video games and stuff like that, so let's go take a look. This guy is like the pop culture haven corner. I always come to this corner because of everything this dude has. Oh my god, that's a $5 Phantom. I don't think I have the Phantom as a pop figure. Do I have that? Oh, I'm gonna have to check that. I don't actually, I mean, I wish it was in the box, but I actually don't have that. However, vintage games, and this is why I always come to this corner, because this guy actually, I love that he puts this in there too. On your way to the cottage, make it a game night. This guy literally has vintage stuff. Now, he does charge vintage prices, I guess, but, ooh, Admirals, an exciting, but I think I found this at another store, actually. Nope, that is not the right one. Foresight. In the future, when I'm a little bit more successful and a wealthier man, I think I should actually just start buying and unboxing these really old vintage board games for people who have probably never seen anything like this before. Because there's a lot of interesting old school board games that I find, and it'd be fun to just see what the pieces are like in some of these things. So I might do that in the future, actually. Planeswalkers, I got that one at home. A sealed Risk, that's pretty cool. 19 bucks for a sealed Risk. Star Wars Operation. Skip Across. Baseball for $50. A Parker Brothers game. That's actually the other thing that I love about these old board games, that like you can find stuff and they kind of show you what's in it, but for the most part they're just boxes, so like you have no idea what you're gonna get in these games, what they look like at all. So that's always interesting. What do we got over here? We got Scrabble Upwards, Alien Grab, Guess Who, Balderdash, typical, yeah. What's that one? Don't Tip the Waiter, an action balancing game. All right, that looks kind of like the Dudley Do-Right villain or those old cartoons. Mastermind, Electro. Down here, looks like we got some newer stuff. Stonehenge for $29. That looks interesting. This is getting promising. An anthology board game, 30 bucks. Oh, this is cool. 5 unique designers created by 5 unique... A druidic election from Foudy, a magical convocation from Garfield, a monumental fire... It's interesting. An alien chariot race. And they put them all into one in this box. Oh, Titanic game. Paizo. Interesting. Very, very cool, actually. You know, I kind of have a rule. If I find a game for like under $30 that is like a newer-ish game, or like a game that has some real solid-looking parts, or is sort of more from my time, I guess. If it's under 30, I usually like to pick it up. So we'll see, but there's some other really good stuff sitting here. We got Walking Dead Monopoly, which is cool. The Walking Dead The Prison game, which is $29. Walking Dead The Prison game. This is actually based off the comics too, which is interesting. Usually you see more of TV stuff. What do we got here? We got Steam. Rails to Riches. I've seen this company before. I can't remember who that is. They have something else that I think I have something with that name. Steam, Rails to Riches. Wow, that looks very intricate. Oh, Mayfair Games. Who do I have? Is that Catan? I don't know. I know I have something, though. Steam, Steel, and Wealth. Build railroads and deliver goods along an ever-changing network of tracks and stations. Oh, my father would absolutely love this. I feel like this is like a base for what's it called? Ticket to Ride? And he loves Ticket to Ride. But I'm interested to see what this is. What is this? Wonderland, the board game. This looks like manhwa drawings, like The Darkness and Witchblade and stuff. What is that about? Interesting. Johnny Little, the Mad Hatter. This has got to be older. 2012? Well, I guess it's not too old, but that's got some interesting looking pieces in it. Experience the madness that is Wonderland. Xenoscope. Interesting. See, it's cool you can find some newer stuff. Oh, here we go. Warhammer Fantasy Role-Playing. A resource for... Okay, well, I don't really play the Warhammer Fantasy, so... Arcane Academy. A strategic game of the tile-linking wizardry. I mean, these prices are pretty solid, right? For an antique place. You're not really... Most of the time, you're never paying full price. Oh, it's IDW. See, these are all good. Most of these are like 30 bucks. This is what I'm talking about. Like, you're really not breaking the bank, especially if you find something that is even cheaper than that. So that was pretty cool. I'm thinking of maybe getting the Steam one or the Stonehenge. They're both 29 bucks. So they're in that under 30 category, and I never feel guilty about an under $30 board game. But I still got some looking around to do, so we're going to see. Side note, you can also find old school stuff like speed tracks, which are on this Spider-Man speed track. I also find a lot of really good cheap pop figures in this in antiquing every now and then. Sometimes some of them are really the rare ones, and yet they don't really cost a lot. So that is also fantastic. I definitely want that Daredevil statue right there. Oh, wait, hold on. We got... Oh, it's an electronic one. Road Race. I thought it said Road Rage. which wouldn't surprise me. Pro football. Look at that. I don't know what that is, but that is looking... Lifelike players run, intercept, pass, and kick. I am very interested to know what kind of pieces would be inside there. Wow, there are Lord of the Rings pop figures in there. And that Balrog is $85 and that Treebeard is $175. Pop figures are insane. Anyway, let's take a look at this new vendor right in front of me that I've never seen before. It's been a long time since I've been to the market, so this is cool. What do we got over here? Oh, gigantic animated Batman Crime Wave game. Oh, that's real 90s right there. Hey, look, Trivial Pursuit. Didn't expect to see that today. Trivial Pursuit, Warner Brothers. This is, Batman Road Trip. I think they've made a couple of those, like Dragon Ball Z Road Trip and stuff. Cranium, Buzzword. Interesting. Mega Executor. We got some vintage games here. Not really what I'm looking for, but I like to peruse every now and then. Predator 2. I used to play that all the time. Spider-Man, got it. Mighty Max, one of my favorite shows growing up. Absolutely loved Mighty Max. That was an awesome show. The other thing when you're antiquing is, like, it is almost guaranteed that you're going to come across something where you're just like, why? Why is this a thing? Why did somebody make this? Case in point, Trudeau Mania? Trudeau, why did somebody make a game about dough? Is that what it... Oh, no, it's a game of chance where you have no chance because it's about Trudeau? Like, is this a real thing or is this a homemade thing? This is definitely, if there's anything that falls under the category of quirky game hunting, I can assure you, my friends, that it is Trudeau Mania, apparently made by Chieftain Games. This seems to be a legitimate game. Now, this channel has nothing to do with politics at all, but it's called Quirky Game Hunting. And I don't know why someone would make something like that, but that is definitely quirky and kind of odd. Something else that is actually really interesting that it kind of took me a while to actually click into and realize is that if you find a section when you're antiquing or thrifting that is like the hobby model scale section, so like trains and planes, you can find a lot of interesting parts. For instance, when it comes to train sets, finding cool little houses and stuff like this can actually be really cool centerpieces for games, or just decorative if you want to go that route. But you can actually find some pretty interesting stuff that looks really cool. But it's the actual pieces. Like, look at this bag of rail signs and stuff. Like, this actually looks right up the alley for my post-apocalyptic survival game that has like street signs and old, Western train lines and all. Like, stuff like that is really, really cool. You can find, clips, soldiers. It's worth it to start looking at like the trains and plane model section. I didn't really used to do it before, and now I'm realizing just how cool it actually can be. Little bridge pieces. I definitely start to check those sections, but some cool, I don't know what they are. They're like tiles, but it says The Thing, and it says Marvel Superheroes Game. I think that goes to an old Marvel, like 1980s game where everything was just cutouts, but those actually look cool. And that says, look, Peter Parker. It's $5 for that bag. I think I'm gonna take that. I don't even think I'm gonna contemplate. I think I'm just gonna take those tokens because they might be able to serve a purpose in my superhero game. Solid score, $5. All right, moving on to some other stuff here. We got some old school comics as per usual. We got Star Wars Episode 1 customizable card game. Stargate Jedi Unleashed. I actually have that. That's kind of a cool game. 25 Perfectos. I don't know what this is. I don't even know what I'm grabbing right now. Oh, I think that was a cigar box. That's just not necessary for me. Clue. Oh, what is this? Create your own comic book action figure custom kit, the sequel. What is this? includes 3 articulated scale action figures, male and female heads, and without various replacement hands, 3 capes, brushes. This is an actual kit. How old is this? Made in China. It doesn't have a date on it. This is... oh, that is actually pretty cool. It's just a blank canvas of action figure parts. That's pretty solid. Very, very cool. I got sidetracked and kind of cut off there because one of the really nice gentlemen that has worked here for years and years, who actually recognizes me, he came over to chat and get those Marvel things out of the case for me, so that was really cool. But yeah, they're so common here. They love the fact that I'm doing like a TV show and everything, so this is a lot of fun. Some more vintage goodies here. So actually, fun story. I have started to see these pop up in the last little while in all kinds of bargain stores and thrift stores, and they're all usually around $15 or $10. I bought this one. I have this one with the beholder and everything in it. But I had actually found these at a bargain shop about 2 months prior, before I started seeing them pop up in like thrift stores and all that. And I got my sets for $1.50 each, because there was another one that came with Drist and some other characters, and then this one with the beholder, and they were not $15 and $10. They were $1.50. And I think it's just because the place that got them in, I don't think they knew what they had, so I got them for $1.50, which is pretty crazy. There are a lot of old school vintage toys in this section. Well, that was very close. I apologize. Call the Conquest. Okay, on to the next. Board game? Board game? I don't know what that is. Vintage. I think it's a train set. Probably a train set. This vendor actually used to have a vintage Captain America game that I always wanted for $40, but I was hesitant on it once, and I came back a week later and it was gone. So, lesson learned, especially when it comes to thrifting. You don't grab something right away. People are coming in and out all the time. It's really easy to miss out on something. So, as a side note, I'm looking for a really, really nice chest to keep all my minis in, because I don't have a spot for all those, and I want something that looks like a vintage dungeon crawling antique chest or something like this with a nice handle, but not quite this. So that's what we're also on the lookout for. Oh yeah! Had to do it. I don't see any board games here, but this guy has got one very... There you go, Knight Rider. See? David Hasselhoff right on the box. This guy's got an interesting booth. Full of interesting stuff. No board games, but maybe some pieces of some kind? I don't know. Now, oh, goodness me. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I've made it into the wrong area, I think. This is not the area that I am meant to be in. Let's continue. Dear God. Look at this thing. It's a 1994 EMAC. Oh my God. This is, yeah, that's bringing me back. But board games are the reason I'm here. And finding a chest to hold my minis, like I've said before. But if I'm not looking for a chest for minis, I just like chests in general. That's my other thing that always catches my eye when I am antiquing. I love finding vintage trunks and chests and like cargo containers. Usually vendors like this with the old ironwork stuff will usually have those. My girlfriend's a big fan of the old distressed wood doors and ladders and shutters and blinds, which I also think is fantastic. So I'll probably go look over there. Probably no board games though. So I was wrong. There is one. God, I love these. See, these are great. These are great. If you're watching, babe, I think you'd like some stuff here. Right here. They have a board game. They have 2 board games. They have a chess/checkers, and they have the game of all ages, Chinese checkers. Something like this. This is plain, but I love it, though. I love the leather work. Little straps there. Looks fantastic. It's right up my alley. I'm not a big fan of the tin ones, but there have been a few times when I've found some vintage tin trunks that are really, really nice. That looks like an old music one. I don't know if it's the storage thing, or, I mean, even this locker is pretty cool. This is pretty much exactly what I'm talking about. This thing's big. It's $299, but like, look at it. Like, that looks like D&D chest. Like, you're gonna find a piece of armor in there. I'm not gonna open it, but there's probably something really cool inside there. We might have a winner. We might have a winner like that. Look at this. This, if that isn't the most treasure treasury ever, I don't know what is. I gotta look at this thing. This is like the most solid antique find to put your antique or your board game minis in, like straight up Zelda treasure chest here, but there's no price on it anywhere. And of course the inside is always a big deal, because if it's like a jewelry box, it's not really going to help me much. So let's take a look. Oh, I mean, I like me some flowers and floral stuff because I work in a greenhouse, but this is a little, that's not up my, and it smells heavily of old perfume. Oh well. All right, well, on to the next, I guess. Not quite what I was hoping for. Let's check and see what's in this area, shall we? We got vinyls, but we're not here for that. We got to focus. Just like at any other thrift store, bagged goods. Always a really good place to start. Let's dive in a little bit. Canadian Monday Night Football. Because why not, right? Look at that thing. Realistic, computerized, and electric. Instant readout with over 800 play combinations. A get-rich game for all the family. I noticed that in the old days of board gaming, there are a lot of quote-unquote family games or children's games that are about like paying debt and credit cards and getting rich quick. So that's interesting. Wow, that is a very mousetrap game. It's not even mousetrap, it's mousetrap game. That is one rugged beat-up box. Happy Days, there we go. Action Light Bright. Man, that is old ticking in there. What do we got back here? We got Chaos. And is that another money game? Trust me, the game of hot tips and cold cash. Yep. And there's a lot of economic and currency games now, but they're always based on like some sort of economic like structure, like you're a space colony or something like that. But just back in the day, it was just straight up get cash now games. All right, we got the Hollywood Canteen, cinema, books, and posters, it looks like. Obviously, this must be a store in Toronto, judging by the sign. And they have a booth here, which is cool, and I see a couple cool things. Some old school stuff down here. I already noticed one cool thing, which is not a board game, but it catches my eye instantly, and that is that right there. A little bit tempted by these bookends right here. These ones also, a little creepy, but I like them. They're a little creepy, but I like them. I also have a thing for bookends. It's like board games, vinyl, chests, and bookends. Those are like the big four for me. No way. Trivial Pursuit. I don't think I see anything else really here, but some solid stuff. Let's move on to the next. All right, we're done. I was in there for... Yeah, I got there at about an hour and 16 minutes. That's actually shorter than the amount of time I'm usually in there. After all that, I didn't come away with any of those games. I decided they just weren't grabbing me enough. The Stonehenge one, kind of. But after looking into it a little deeper, I just don't think there was enough for me in that game. I did buy this bag of $5 tokens, which are from an old Marvel superheroes board game from like the 80s. And I know because I've seen the board game before. And these are the pieces that you use. There's characters and like civilians and all kinds of stuff. Just no board, but that's okay because I wanted to see what cool stuff I could find for maybe my superhero game, like the generic stuff. And I just want to see what characters are in it. Like I can already see that is Wolverine right there. It's a little bit blurry. But I'll still go home and rip these open and see if there's anything cool. All right, so I'm back home again. We made it home. We're done for the day. In the office, getting ready to look at the spoils, and the spoils are very small, which I know might seem a little bit crazy considering the scale and size of the place that I just came from. And you know, a couple of those games, the Stonehenge game I was thinking about, and there was that Alice game, and you know, some of them did catch my eye. I just wasn't sure if I wanted the games themselves or the pieces for those $30 price points. I do usually have that rule that's, you know, $30 or under, but it still has to grab me, and it's got to be a good buy. Now, with that said, the one thing we did come away with, which is actually pretty awesome, is a bag of tokens. And these tokens are old cardboard cutout tokens from a 1984 Marvel game. It's like, I think it's just called Marvel Superheroes, but there's heroes and villains and all kinds of stuff. So we're going to open these up one by one and see what's inside. The reason why I thought these were cool is they're only $5. You know, for my superhero game, I see in the bag here, there's some random ones that say like thug, firefighter, and something like that is just, it's too comic booky, whether I use these things or not. It's too comic booky, it's too up my alley, and even just on a Marvel standpoint, it's cool to have these little collectibles. You actually can still find the game, but it depends on how much you can find it for. So we're going to zoom in. We're going to have some fun unpacking all of these little guys. Ironically, right on top of the package, I don't know if you can see this, is a little character, and it says Steve Rogers. And well, let's just say I don't know who is in this or what. It's from 1984, but you can be sure you know who I'm looking for, because it's rather important. Okay, let's open these up and see what fun can be had. Okay, let's get into this. I'm excited. These are old. And you know what? I don't want to try and look ahead. First, I want to see what these big cards are in the back. I don't have no idea if this is a part of the game or not. But they've given me Sasquatch, which is cool. And Shaman. Oh, okay. Interesting. And Heather Hutz. Why does this pack of random old Marvel tokens have 3 Alpha Flight cards? Shout out Super Team Canada, though. Sasquatch. They have stats, health, karma, resources, pop. This is weird. I don't know if this is part of the game or if this person just threw this in. Is this like a Marvel RPG thing? But it's so random that it's 3 Alpha Flight characters. Keep them right here. And let's dive into this thing. I want to see right off the bat if we're going to have the winner, because I see it right on top right here. Look at that. There he is, the legend, Mr. Steve Rogers. Now, I don't know how this works, but I'm assuming that the secret identity is on the other side. Oh, that's disappointing. I mean, technically, the first pull, I am holding Captain America, but like, you know. Anyway, let's keep going. We got Steve. We're gonna put him right up top there. All right, next up on the list, I'm just gonna grab and we're gonna go. We got the crowd. The crowd is pretty cool. See, I feel like this is stuff that I could still definitely use. That's the thing. What else we got? We got Beetle. Put that in the villains pile. Ben Grimm. Ben Grimm, otherwise known as the Thing. But these are all just alter egos. That's interesting. Fire Truck. Fireman. I don't know what the arrows mean, but we got Turk. I'm not familiar with that, actually. I love how there's random, like there's even environment pieces, which is interesting. Clutter. We're going to put that, let's put that over here. Oh, no. Okay. All right. We got an Octroid and Human Torch. I'm just curious to see what is in these piles. Considering it's old. Soldier. Soldier. Put that over here. A beat cop. Not just a regular cop. It's a beat cop. This really does give that 1980s Marvel style, that's for sure. Dr. Chen Lu. I don't know who that is. Put him over there. Another fireman. This one has an interesting little tile here. Different type of tile. We got like a space soldier. That's interesting. Space soldier. A soldier major. We got McDonald Mac Gargan. Well, we know that's Scorpion. So he's got to be in here somewhere. What else we got here? We got Sigurd Jarlsson. Well, again, that's a little bit of a different take, but I'm assuming that's going to be a... Oh, here we go. The Thing. Nice. First double set there. All right, next up we got Thug. Oh yeah, it's just a random Thug. Put that down there. Helicopter. Another vehicle. Grotto. Grotto and Reed Richards. Okay, here we go. We're on to something else again here. Grab a handful. Oh, I can already see Scorpion's tail, I think. Okay, we got Logan. We got Logan, so there's got to be a Captain America around somewhere. Or a Wolverine, I should have said. Crowd. Again. What else? Oh, yeah, definitely Scorpion. There we go. We got Mac Gargan, we got Scorpion. So there's our first villain pairing. Move that down here. What else we got? Hey, Mr. Fantastic. There you go. Second part. Second part of the Fantastic Four. We got a soldier again. And the man himself. Thor, the God of Thunder. Okay, so it's looking like they're using this guy right here. Sigurd Jarlsson. What's next? Doc Ock. Dr. Octopus. There's got to be an Otto Octavius around here somewhere then. I'm guessing. Put the villains up there. Police Chief. Oh, we're leveling up over here. We got regular cops, police chief. We got Clutter, which looks like straight up We did it. Mission complete. I can end the video now. 1984. We have found the treasure. Nice. Let's put this right in the center. There we go. Let's take a look at this first. Oh yeah. That's what I was looking for. And we got Logan, we got the Fixer, Otto Octavius, and Peter Parker. Okay, so I'm not surprised that we're going to run into Spider-Man in here, obviously. So let's get Otto there and Doc Ock. We got here, we got Norbert Ebersol. That might be one of them. One of Beetle's characters. SWAT Riot Cops. Interesting. Let's put that over there. What's this? Another Octodroid. Put those guys right there, I guess, for now. We have, oh, Captain Marvel, the Monica Rambeau Captain Marvel. Interesting. Classic truck and van. Gotta have one of those. Nice. Invisible Girl. All right, so we're really getting on to this Fantastic Four thing. Only missing a few people. I wonder if this was actually, oh, Sue Storm right there. I wonder if this was even complete. There was no tag on this about whether or not it had all the tokens, but all right, there you go. Monica Rambeau. What do we got? Oh, there he is. And yeah, there you go, Wolverine. And my personal favorite costume. I absolutely love his brown and yellow costume. That was always my favorite one, his classic brown and yellow. What else we got here? Abner Jenkins. Okay, well, that's definitely going to be one of the... Hey, here we go. Put that over here. The legend himself, Spider-Man. Where's Peter? Peter? Last thing we got is, well, Johnny Storm, which is appropriate. Very interesting, very cool. Very old school and fun, but we got what we were looking for, obviously. Well, that's pretty much it, everybody. It was a really fun search. I absolutely love that antique store. It's one of my absolute favorites. Didn't come away with anything big, but that was really fun, just digging through that old game there and finding all those tokens. And still a great find, $5. great night out, or great day out. And I'm excited for the next one. The next place I'm going is equally as big. It was the place I was meant to go the first time, but then there was a mix-up in scheduling, so I'm actually going to go there now. It is the 3/4 level antique building. It is. It takes twice as long to get through the huge one that I went through, but it is stacked with the biggest spectrum of things that you can find in an antique store, and there's always games, so I'm excited to see what I can come away with then. As always, thank you so much for watching. Super humbled that you guys are still enjoying the show and that you come on to watch these little adventures that I go on. If you're still enjoying it, you're still liking it, please feel free to comment anytime that you want. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you know when I am posting new videos. There is going to be some new stuff coming onto the channel to create some new playlists in the near future. And don't forget the notification button so you can get that little ring-a-ding every time that I post something. So, God, sometimes my vocabulary is just so awkward. Anyway, gee willikers, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next week.